Have you ever wondered if there's something greater within you waiting to be unleashed? Have you questioned whether the struggles you face are the ones that define you or whether you have the power to redefine them? If you've ever felt uncertain about the future or doubted your potential, then this speech is for you. It's time to understand that you are not the sum of your challenges, you are the sum of your choices, your resilience, and your belief in your own strength. Imagine waking up every morning knowing that you have the power to shape your life, that no external force can determine your worth, and that your ability to grow and succeed is limitless. This is not just a dream, this is the reality you can create starting today. So stay with me, because what you hear today can change your life, your outlook, and how you approach every single moment. I want to show you how to unlock your true potential and take your life to the next level no matter where you are right now. Life is full of challenges, and each one presents an opportunity for growth. Yet, in the midst of these obstacles, we often forget one fundamental truth: we are far more powerful than we think. Our greatest strength lies not in our circumstances, but in our ability to choose how we respond to them. It's easy to get caught up in the illusion that life happens to us, that we are victims of fate, but the truth is, we are the creators of our own lives. When we face hardship, it's tempting to feel like we are powerless, like we're stuck in a never-ending loop of struggle. But that feeling of powerlessness is a lie. We may not always be able to control what happens to us, but we can always control how we respond. This response is where our true power lies. Every decision we make, every reaction we have, shapes the direction of our lives. In difficult moments, we often forget that we hold the power to shift our mindset. We can choose to see challenges as setbacks, or we can choose to see them as opportunities to grow. The way we perceive our circumstances has a profound impact on how we navigate them. When we choose to see obstacles as opportunities, we stop feeling trapped by them and start feeling empowered to rise above them. It's important to remember that life will never be without its challenges. It's part of the human experience. But each challenge presents us with the chance to evolve. When we face adversity, we're not just being tested, we're being shaped into stronger, more resilient versions of ourselves. Think about the most resilient people you know. They're not immune to difficulty, but they've learned how to use their challenges as stepping stones rather than stumbling blocks. They've learned to push through, to keep moving forward, even when the path is unclear. And it's not about being perfect or never feeling fear. It's about the courage to keep going despite it. When we embrace the fact that we have the power to shape our reactions, we free ourselves from the chains of helplessness. We stop waiting for the world to change and start changing our approach to the world. We stop letting circumstances dictate our future and instead take charge of it ourselves. Our strength is not just in surviving hardship, it's in thriving through it. Every time we push through discomfort, every time we take a step despite fear, we build not just our resilience, but also our character. You have an incredible power within you, and that power lies in your ability to choose. It's in the moments when life seems the hardest, when things feel like they're falling apart, that you have the opportunity to show up as your most powerful self. Remember that you are not defined by what happens to you, but by how you choose to respond to it. You can choose to rise. You can choose to face each day with courage, with hope, and with the unshakable belief that you are capable of more than you ever thought possible. In the end, life is not about what happens to us, but about how we use our power to shape the journey. When you fully realize the strength within you and embrace your ability to respond to life's challenges, there is nothing that can hold you back. You are more powerful than you know, and this power is the key to unlocking the life you truly deserve. Purpose is what gives our lives meaning, direction, and focus. Without it, life can feel like a series of random events, disconnected, uncertain, and ultimately unsatisfying. Purpose is the force that drives us to keep going when times get tough and motivates us to strive for something greater than ourselves. It's what pushes us to wake up every day, ready to face whatever challenges lie ahead, because we know that our efforts are aligned with something bigger, something that truly matters. The reality is that many people go through life without ever fully understanding their purpose, and as a result, they drift from one day to the next without a sense of fulfillment. They may have goals, desires, or dreams, but those goals often lack the deep intrinsic meaning that comes from a clear sense of purpose. This absence of purpose can lead to feelings of frustration, confusion, and even despair. Without a sense of purpose, It's easy to get lost in the noise of daily life, feeling like you're moving but never really getting anywhere. On the other hand, when we have a clear purpose, life becomes filled with intention. We no longer feel like we're simply reacting to events around us. We become active participants in creating our reality. Purpose transforms obstacles into challenges we can overcome, setbacks into lessons we can learn from. It fuels our drive, gives us a reason to push through when everything else feels too hard, and aligns all of our efforts towards achieving a higher goal. Finding purpose isn't always easy. It's not something that comes overnight, nor is it always clear at first. It requires reflection, self-awareness, and a willingness to dive deep into understanding who we are, what we value, and what we want to contribute to the world. The journey to discovering purpose is as much about uncovering the truth of who we are as it is about the destination itself. For some, purpose is found in a career or in raising a family. For others, it's in making an impact on their community or the world. But regardless of the form it takes, purpose provides us with a deeper sense of fulfillment than any external success ever could. When we discover our purpose, it becomes the foundation for everything else in our lives. It gives us clarity, confidence, and resilience. No matter how many times we fall, we always know why we're getting back up. Our purpose reminds us that every setback is temporary, that we are capable of enduring the hardest trials because our ultimate goal is worth every sacrifice. It's the fuel that powers us through the most difficult moments, helping us to persevere even when the path seems impossible. The beauty of purpose is that it not only drives us forward, but also connects us to something greater than ourselves. It's a force that links us to others, creating a sense of community and shared vision. When we live with purpose, we inspire others to do the same. We become beacons of hope, models of resilience, and sources of strength. Purpose is contagious. It spreads to those around us, encouraging them to find their own purpose and pursue it with passion. Ultimately, the pursuit of purpose is a lifelong journey. It's not about reaching some distant endpoint, but about living every day in alignment with our deepest values and aspirations. It's about waking up every morning with a clear sense of why we're here and using that knowledge to guide our decisions, actions, and interactions with the world. When we live with purpose, we not only create a meaningful life for ourselves, but we also contribute to the greater good of humanity. Purpose gives us direction, meaning, and fulfillment, the very essence of a life well lived. Fear and doubt are universal emotions. They are an inherent part of the human experience, and no one is immune to them. Whether you're facing a new challenge, taking a big risk, or pursuing a dream, fear and doubt often show up as obstacles in the path to success. But here's the truth: fear is not your enemy. In fact, it is a signal that you are stretching beyond your comfort zone. And that's exactly where growth happens. Fear arises in many forms: fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of not being good enough, or even fear of success. It holds us back, keeps us stuck in our comfort zones, and convinces us that we are incapable of achieving greatness. But fear does not define you. It merely points to where you can grow. It is not something to avoid or suppress, but something to recognize and move through. In fact, the more you face your fears, the smaller and less powerful they become. The key is not to eliminate fear, but to learn to work with it, to push through it, and to use it as a source of motivation. Doubt, on the other hand, is a product of our internal voice, the voice that tells us we're not good enough, not ready enough, not smart enough. It's that constant whisper that tries to convince us that we don't have what it takes. And while doubt can be paralyzing, it's important to remember that it doesn't reflect reality, it reflects our perception of reality. Doubt stems from the stories we tell ourselves, stories that often have no basis in truth. The fact is, you are more capable than you realize. You are stronger, smarter, and more resilient than the voice of doubt would have you believe. The most successful people are not those who have never felt fear or doubt. In fact, it's the opposite. They are the ones who have learned to take action despite their fears and doubts. They've understood that the presence of fear and doubt does not mean they're on the wrong path. It simply means they are pushing themselves to do something they've never done before. They have reframed their thinking, recognizing that fear is not a signal to stop, but a signal to move forward with even more determination. One of the most empowering things you can do is to acknowledge your fears and doubts, but not let them dictate your actions. Understand that feeling scared or unsure is normal and human. It's the courage to act in spite of that fear that will differentiate you from others. Every time you choose to face fear, you take away its power. Every time you push through doubt, you prove to yourself that you are capable of achieving things you once thought impossible. Moreover, fear and doubt often mask our greatest potential. When we let go of these emotions' grip, we open ourselves up to new possibilities, new levels of growth, and new opportunities. The more we learn to embrace fear and doubt as part of the journey, the more we begin to recognize them as signs that we're on the right track. It's a sign that we are growing, stretching, and expanding our capacity for success. Fear doesn't have to control us, and doubt doesn't have to limit us. When we face them head on, we find that we have the strength to push past them and achieve incredible things. Remember, fear and doubt are not indicators that you should turn back. They are reminders that you are moving towards something bigger. When you feel them creeping in, know that you are on the verge of something extraordinary. The more you confront fear and doubt, the more you will realize that they are not the walls that block your progress, they are the doorways to your greatest achievements. Growth is not a one-time event or a destination that you reach and then stop. It is a continuous process, a lifelong journey of evolving, learning, and improving. People often believe that growth happens in bursts, that there's a moment when everything changes and you're suddenly successful. However, the truth is that growth happens in the small, everyday actions we take. It's in the choices we make, the lessons we learn, and the resilience we show day after day, even when the results aren't immediately visible. In fact, growth is more about consistency than it is about grand moments of success. The process of growth is subtle, sometimes imperceptible, but incredibly powerful. When you focus on consistent progress, even the smallest steps forward contribute to a significant transformation over time. Think about the progress you've made in your life so far. It didn't happen overnight, and it wasn't a linear path. It was a series of steps, some big, some small, that ultimately led you to where you are today. Every single action you take to improve yourself adds up over time, creating a compounding effect that drives your growth. The key to consistent growth lies in embracing discomfort. Growth often comes from stepping outside your comfort zone, and this can feel uncomfortable or even painful. We tend to resist change because it challenges what we know, forces us to confront our weaknesses, and demands more from us. However, it's only through discomfort that we discover our true potential. Every time you push past your fears, face a challenge, or learn a new skill, you are expanding your capabilities. The more you lean into discomfort, the more you grow. It's this constant push against your limits that shapes you into a more resilient and capable person. Growth also requires patience. In a world that values instant gratification, it's easy to expect quick results. But growth doesn't happen on our timeline. It happens at its own pace, and this pace can vary depending on the circumstances, the effort you put in, and the challenges you face. Sometimes progress feels slow, and we may even doubt whether we're moving forward at all. But remember, even if you can't see the progress right away, it's still happening. It's in the quiet moments, in the learning and unlearning, in the failures and the victories, that growth is happening beneath the surface. Every obstacle you face in life is an opportunity for growth. We often think of challenges as setbacks, as things that slow us down or get in the way of our goals. But if we shift our perspective and view challenges as opportunities to learn, we begin to see them in a different light. Obstacles don't define us, they refine us. They force us to think creatively, to problem solve, to adapt. They help us develop new strengths, skills, and perspectives. Growth doesn't happen when things are easy, it happens when things are tough, when we have to dig deep and find the courage to keep going. Most importantly, growth is about learning from every experience, whether it's a success or a failure. Every experience carries a lesson, and if we're open to it, there's always something valuable to learn. Embracing the growth mindset means understanding that there's no such thing as failure. There are only lessons, opportunities for improvement, and chances to get closer to the person you are meant to become. When you approach life with a growth mindset, every setback becomes a step forward. Every challenge becomes an opportunity to learn, and every day is a chance to become better than you were yesterday. In the end, growth is about embracing the journey. It's about showing up every day, committing to continuous improvement, and understanding that you will never arrive at a final destination. You will always be growing, evolving, and expanding your potential. And that's the beauty of life. It's a never-ending opportunity to become more than you were yesterday. Each one of us has untapped potential within us, capacities we haven't yet discovered, strengths we haven't yet realized, and abilities that have yet to be fully unleashed. The truth is that most people operate far below their potential, often settling for less than what they are truly capable of. The reason is simple: we tend to limit ourselves based on past experiences, societal expectations, or the fear of failure. But the moment we recognize that we are capable of more, that there are no limits to what we can achieve, except the ones we place on ourselves, everything begins to shift. The first step in unlocking your potential is to believe that you have it. It sounds simple, but belief is the foundation of all achievement. If you don't believe in your own abilities, it becomes nearly impossible to push beyond the boundaries you've set for yourself. The key to unlocking your potential is to understand that it's already there, waiting to be discovered and nurtured. It's not about becoming someone you're not. It's about tapping into the abilities you already possess and allowing them to flourish. Once you believe in your potential, you must cultivate it. This means putting in the work, taking risks, and consistently stepping outside your comfort zone. Potential is like a seed that needs the right environment to grow. It needs the right mindset, the right habits, and the right challenges. This doesn't mean that things will always be easy, but the journey of pushing yourself past limitations will only enhance your growth. Every time you take on something new, every time you face a fear or attempt something you once thought was impossible, you're stretching your capabilities and building on your potential. It's also crucial to recognize that unlocking your potential isn't about instant success or perfection. It's a continuous process of growth and development. Just as a muscle doesn't become stronger after a single workout, your abilities won't fully manifest overnight. They require time, patience, and dedication. Often people give up before they reach their peak potential simply because they don't see immediate results. But the secret to success is in the perseverance, in the consistent effort over time, even when you don't see the fruits of your labor right away. The key is to trust that your efforts will compound, and in time you will see the results of unlocking your true capabilities. Along with perseverance, another vital component of unlocking your potential is overcoming self-doubt. Doubt can be paralyzing. It tells you that you're not enough, that you don't have what it takes, or that you're not worthy of success. But doubt is a lie. It's a story you tell yourself that keeps you playing small. The real truth is that your potential is limitless, but to tap into it, you must silence the voice of doubt and replace it with the voice of confidence and courage. Every time you overcome self-doubt, you take another step toward unlocking your full potential. Finally, unlocking your potential requires a willingness to be uncomfortable. It's in the discomfort that growth happens. When you push yourself to try new things, to challenge your limits, and to break free from the familiar, that's when you begin to tap into your true power. The greatest opportunities for growth lie on the other side of fear and discomfort. It's easy to stay in your comfort zone, but nothing extraordinary ever happens there. When you step into the unknown, you discover new aspects of yourself that you never knew existed. The process of unlocking your potential is not for the faint of heart. It's for those who are willing to embrace discomfort, face challenges head-on, and trust in their ability to evolve and grow. Unlocking your potential is a lifelong journey, not a destination. It requires belief, hard work, perseverance, overcoming doubt, and embracing discomfort. But once you begin this journey, you'll find that there's no limit to what you can achieve. You are capable of far more than you realize, and the only thing standing between where you are now and where you could be is your willingness to take that first step toward unleashing your full potential. The world is waiting for you to show up as the fullest, most powerful version of yourself. The only question is, are you ready to step into it? The path to success is rarely linear. It is filled with obstacles, detours, and moments of doubt. However, the one trait that separates those who succeed from those who don't is resilience, the ability to persist in the face of adversity, to keep moving forward despite challenges, and to never give up on your dreams. Resilience is not something you're born with. It's a quality that can be cultivated over time through practice, perseverance, and mindset. At its core, resilience is about the ability to bounce back from failure. Failure is an inevitable part of life, but it is not the end of the road. It is simply a part of the process of growth and success. When you face a setback, it's easy to feel defeated, to think that you're not capable, or that you'll never get back on track. But resilience teaches you that failure is not a reflection of your worth, it's a lesson in disguise. Every time you fall, you have the opportunity to rise stronger, wiser, and more determined. The key to success is not avoiding failure, but learning to embrace it as part of the journey. Resilience also involves maintaining a positive attitude, even in the most difficult circumstances. It's easy to stay motivated when things are going well, but true resilience is tested in times of struggle. In moments of hardship, it's vital to shift your perspective and focus on the bigger picture. When life throws challenges your way, rather than focusing on the negative, find the lessons and opportunities that lie within the struggle. This positive mindset doesn't mean ignoring the pain or pretending that things are fine when they're not. It means choosing to find strength and growth even in adversity. When you choose to look at challenges as opportunities, you begin to see them not as barriers but as stepping stones on your path to success. Resilience also requires the ability to stay committed to your goals, even when progress is slow or hard to see. Success doesn't always happen overnight. In fact, it often takes longer than we expect and requires more effort than we anticipate. There will be times when progress feels slow or non-existent, when you question whether your hard work is worth it. But resilience teaches you that success is not just about the results, it's about the effort you put in and day out, even when the finish line seems far away. It's about staying consistent even when you don't feel like it, and trusting that your perseverance will pay off in the end. An essential part of resilience is the willingness to adapt and be flexible. Life rarely goes exactly as planned, and it's easy to become frustrated when things don't unfold as we envision. But the most resilient people are those who can adjust to changing circumstances without losing sight of their ultimate goal. Resilience is not about rigidly sticking to a single plan, but about being open to new opportunities, adjusting to setbacks, and finding alternative ways to move forward when faced with challenges. When you're willing to adapt and stay flexible, you unlock your ability to continue progressing no matter what obstacles come your way. Lastly, resilience is about taking care of your mental and emotional health throughout the journey. Persistence is important, but without emotional resilience, the constant pressure can lead to burnout. Building resilience means learning how to manage stress, maintain your well-being, and find balance during difficult times. It's about developing a mindset that supports your mental and emotional strength, allowing you to stay grounded, focused, and determined even when life is overwhelming. In the end, resilience is what will carry you through the toughest times. It is the strength that comes from within, the resolve to keep going no matter how difficult the road ahead may seem. The challenges you face will not define you. Your ability to keep going, to adapt, and to learn from each experience is what will shape your future. When you build resilience, you create the foundation for lasting success.